Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Donny Chaingang. My name is Matt Payne. Just finishing off some new yellow beacon coffee from Russ. It's pretty good. Don't tell him I said that. I know he's going to be on the show later, but it's really quite nice. And anyone who knows me knows proper coffee addicts. So make sure you get hold of some. Just message Russ direct for it. Good stuff. Better put that down and get on with the business. Welcome to Veloskin Week, ride number 2, here on Donny Chaingang, live on Downey Cycling YouTube channel with me, Matt Payne, announcer, commentator, race organiser, confirmed coffee addict. Follow me at Matt Fix Payne. Yeah, I know. You can read the screen over there somewhere. It's all on there. I know. But more importantly, it is Veloskin Week, as you can see in the top corner. So don't forget, guys, to make sure you give them a follow. It's at veloskin.cc. They're one of the key partners here at the Donny Chaingang, not only just because they look after all of our members of the DCG gang and all our members having free samples being sent out to them, these great samples. These are the beasties, they're heading out free, but also because this stuff, get the right one, this is the soothing gel. This stuff is the business because this keeps me on moving. After sprinting last night, 7 laps of fan flats, this was going on the old legs and on the back as well. It's definitely feeling it. That is for sure. Getting old. And that is the case. Now, we have some great prizes. Now, if you're watching on Tuesday, you'll know that the first person out of the draw was a certain Mr. Ewan McLeod. Now, Ewan McLeod's a supporter. He's a member, just like everybody else. And like everybody else who's a member, he was in the draw and it was pulled out. But because he's a supported rider by Veloskin and Ewan have turned around and gone, do you know what, guys? We look after Ewan anyway. We'll just make sure we give him even more. But what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that you get more prizes. So we've got 4 prizes to draw out tonight for the Veloskin prize draw for the members of the DCG gang. If you're not a member, if you don't know what it is, it's how we keep the show on the road. It's how we keep the ride rolling. And it's how we make sure that we can keep on bringing you the programme. There's a lot of time and energy goes into the Facebook page. There's like 2,100 people on there. There's 2 hours to 3 hours of video going out twice a week, plus rides on the outside, plus talks, etc. So all that takes a bit of time and a bit of work, and obviously all the graphics, etc., and all this sort of the software and hardware in here all needs keeping up with, not just here but of course down at Russ's. So do that. You join the club, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, monthly, or you can do it yearly, and you can find all those links on DonnyChaingang.com. Russ from Downing Cycling is of course instrumental in that, and Russ and myself, Matt Payne from Full Speed Events, the team that bring you the events. We've got lots of ride leaders, we get lots of volunteer beacons and all sorts joining us. The community is instrumental in making everything happen, so a massive thank you to them. But before further ado, we might as well get on and pull the draw. Got 4 numbers to do. Now, you'll have seen, if you're watching on Tuesday, if you haven't seen this, we have our fantastic random number generator, which on the good days is going to appear right there. Let's have a little look. No, that's Russ. That's the number generator. Russ is not a number generator. I wish he was. He's just big red numbers when he's going into the red. So we have our number generator. We're going to pull 4 numbers out. Each member's been allocated. That's gone out in the email to the members. They know what number they are. Let's stop on our first one. This is for a £50 voucher from Veloskin. So the first number being drawn is number 28. And number 28 is going to be... let's have a scroll through. Somebody's already getting excited. That's Chris Clipstone. So Chris Clipstone is our first winner. So well done, Chris. You're going to be getting that £50 voucher. Let's start the number generator again. Now we're going to do another £50 voucher for the next number out. So the £50 voucher, the second one going out, is going to number 121. So number 121 is going to be Sarah Grimshaw. So Sarah Grimshaw, aka Miss Cookie, is going to be getting the second of those £50 vouchers. And then we have the bundles. Now the bundles are these: chamois cream tub and a soothing cream tub worth about 30 quid. This, not to be sneezed at, coming out to our members. We've got 2 of these to go out. So the first of those bundles going out to whoever is our member number 48, and that is going to go to Fred Gill, who's now a GB rider. So it shows you We've got a right old mix of riders in the gang, supported by lots of pros as well as celebs. And that's going to be for a bundle, which leaves us one more prize for the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club members. Now, this means we'll send the number rolling once more. We have one more number to draw. And remember, if you want to be part of the draw, join the DCG gang. Don't forget, we've got loads of great discounts from Veloskin. We have discounts from OTE for coffee. We have it for wheels from Halo. Grand Tour coffee in there. Pretty gritty, of course, with sustainable clothing. Make sure you go out and fill your basket, as the saying goes. So one more number, last number in the draw tonight. That is number 137, which is Zach making. So Zach, one of our younger riders, younger members of the club, is going to be the last of the winners in the week. We've got lots more coming up, of course, on the DCG gang. So don't forget, you can get yourselves in the draw by joining the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Now, let's jump across to Russ, who hopefully is going to be on the end of the line. Hello, Russ.
Hey up.
Hey up, proper Yorkshire welcome.
I've just had a sip of my OTE, so I was just staring at it saying, oh yeah. It's got the old, what's it on it? Got the white rose on it and A up around the top, so yeah, it just triggered my little brain.
I've got to admit, I'm on a little bottle today from OTE, not a big one, because I've used all the big ones riding recently. Dangerous, this riding lark. I end up using all the props as a product, because it's too good to just leave down on the studio. So, number 2, we are on the second ride, and we had a good ride on Tuesday on a very hilly course.
Yeah, I've only just recovered, I think. Probably after the DCD, the same. You're all saying, yeah, what a tough session, but yeah, it was good. Pretty well behaved. Not going to say 100% well behaved, but not bad. So it was all good. Good effort.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of good riding, lots of groups working together. Now, today's very different, isn't it? Because we are, of course, heading onto Tempus Fugit on the flat. And this is going to be all about the draft, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to write on screen then about, it's all about keeping the blob tight tonight. The old Zwift, 6 metres out of the back, get out of there, and you don't want to be alone in the middle of the desert, do you?
You definitely don't want to be on your own in the middle of the desert. I hope everybody's well and truly fueled up. Now, Tempus Fugit, for those that haven't done it, is a time trial course, isn't it? So it is designed to be flat and fast. In the group, it's going to be about hanging on those wheels for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of hanging on the wheels, and let's not play under nines football and chase the front or chase the ball, because then it's just going to whiz off down the road, into the middle of the desert, and it's going to be good fun. So let's just keep it tempo, until we go, and then go for a rip up, lay some power down.
Definitely, and it's going to be a day for the big power guys. I know there's lots of different tactics already being planned by people. We'll have to see how they get on with that as they go down. But it's not just about having the power, is it? It's about riding the wheels and saving your energy until the very finale.
Yeah, it is Zwifting on such a flat course. You think, yeah, it's going to be easy, but as soon as you lose the wheel, you're out there. And the same out the front, you can quite easily think, yeah, I've got this, and then the group will come from behind, all producing big power, and it's like a snowball effect. The peloton gets even faster than it does in real life. So yeah, it should be a good rip up, and then we can have a relaxing weekend.
That sounds like a great idea. And we've got a busy week next week, of course. We've got 2 rides. We've got the Tuesday and the Thursday, and of course we've got the Women's Wednesdays as well, which is going to be in RGV, I think.
Yeah, saw that he designed a good little quirky course there. We're not gone back to the marina. We're finishing at the Ballon Sprint, so I think slightly uphill drag. So it should be a good good runnings only DCG on Wednesday. I look forward to watching that with a beer.
If only I could. Afterwards, maybe. Well, we're going to let you go, breathe the troops. It is about 4.5 minutes to go, which means we might manage to get through the map before we actually set off down the road.
Yeah, and just do a little bit of stretching, a quick 15-minute warm-up, and that might be right, we'll see. Turn all the fans up, the music up, and yeah, off we go.
Definitely. Well, good luck, mate. It's been good to chat, and hopefully we'll pick up with you a little bit later on.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Have a good one. So a massive thank you to Russ, who is currently getting warmed up and ready. Just having a quick look down the message board. Just seeing a question from Chris Hesseltine. James, ask him how many people he beat. That's only because I was riding a crit last night. The answer is we started in the A-Cat with 6 riders. By the third lap, there was 2 of us left, and by the end of it was just me. So my win was quite hollow, but I did set the fastest time with all the A, B, Cs and Ds, and I think it was 47 riders in total. So I'll take that because I was still the fastest doing all the laps, but it was pretty boring, to be honest. It certainly wasn't a DCG. So we shall see. So, yeah, fastest time, got the win, but you know what? It's really hollow. And to be honest, I'd much rather be riding this course tonight than the Farm Flats I rode last night, because this course coming up for you is absolutely stunning. It's a brilliant course. I absolutely love it, but that's because I'm quite a big guy. 83.9 kilos, I think it was on the scales this morning. The 0.9 is important rather than 84, believe me. That was just breathing all the air out, I tell you. So remember, we are going to be bringing you all of the action. It is important that you remember to follow the instructions, because this is going to be pretty rapid tonight. Let's show you where we're going. We are heading into Watopia. We're heading to Tempus Fugit, and we are going for 55k here on Veloskin Week. Now, there's a long lead in. On your map, you can see that you come along the red section in around the turning loop and into the start-finish point, and that is when we start our 3 laps. That's where the red section ends. We then go down, we go through the lake, we go round the turn at the bottom, we come back up again. Now, there is absolutely minimal climbing on this. It really is a case of, I've seen more hills round Selby and out round Church Fenton I've ever seen here. There's nothing on this. Honestly, it really is about sitting in the wheels. If you do not sit on the wheel, if you let it go more than 6 meters, you're out the back and you are going to be getting on, and you're going to be getting swept up by our red beacon. Now, this young man Everested with a lot of the riders going along and riding with him earlier on in the year. George Cooper, who rides for the Sherwood Pines team, and lots of the Sherwood Pines riders on the Chaingang. George is going to be our boss. Now, George is one of our younger riders. I won't tell you just how young he is, but he is serving non-alcoholic drinks on the bus. And George is a rider who we know can be up at the front, but he's also a rider who is strong enough to go back and help people out. And that is what we want to say. Now, a massive thank you to George and to everybody who is a red beacon. It is a volunteer role. It is a role where people are queuing to have a go. And I think, if I remember right, we've now got the books full until June. And if you say, oh, that's the middle of summer, not a problem. We are running all the way across to the end of next winter at least. Russ and I have got no plans of going anywhere other than me in the studio and Russ on the Turbo Trader. Now, I'd happily swap that for this course, and I'll show you why, because let's jump across to the Velo Viewer profile. Now, this is just how flat it is. This is on exactly the same scale as Tuesday. Tuesday, if you remember, we had it basically busting out the sides of the top and bottom of the picture. Now, this is how flat it is. The tiniest of rises. So as we start up at the top of the loop, when we come in, you go into the start from the left-hand side. And as you work your way around at 3 kilometres, there's a slight 2 to 3% drag into the turn round by the lake. You drop out from that, more flat desert. At about coming in towards the 7k mark, it's about 6.75. There's another slight drag. You can tell I know this course inside out. Round the turn and back out again. And that is why it is so important to stay in the wheels, because it is going to be incredibly quick out there. We do 3 lots of 16 meters, which is 48 meters in total in 55k, but it is a long ride. Remember, we're heading out and we're doing 55k rounds, so get your head around the map. We're just coming out of the pens at the moment and on into that red section, so let's have a little bit of a check of the course. Let's see how the riders are moving at the moment out on course, and sounds like the wheels are turning now. As you can see, the riders are just making the way out onto circuit here. We're going to just pop up the slightly zoomed out map, and that will give you a good indication so the riders head round. Now we're going to drop in as we drop onto the course proper. So remember the key numbers here: 17.3k laps once we go under the arch the first time. We are going to be warming down to the blue banner afterwards, and it's all about making sure that you stick around the yellow beacon, who we're going to jump in with now, as if by magic. Here we go, and he's in and rolling. Remember, you will only see 100 riders on the screen, so the riders are just making the way in towards the course proper, and as our riders make their way around the circuit, we're going to go jump in with them live here on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, live here, of course, at Veloskin Week on the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. So jumping in here live at the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, we've got lots of riders in here. Remember, the aim is to stay around yellow. I'm just taking a little bit of a look. I think Johnny Two Dogs has inherited the red beacon from Tuesday. So it looks like George Cooper has been relieved of his duties by Johnny. So it looks like Johnny not being taken out of that job for some reason. So it looks like Johnny Two Dogs, the man who did a sterling job on Tuesday's in, and it looks like Josh Cooper's going to miss out on the red beacon tonight. We'll see if George is going to drop back with him. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen George do that. And as you can see, remember guys, the aim is to stay around yellow. It's going to be a steady start to start off with. We're going to try and work our way through all of our riders who are out on course, particularly those members of the DCG gang. Don't forget, of course, Veloskin supporting the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, and the aim is that we will, of course, bring them, all of our members, great value, great discounts, and that is all about making sure our riders get a big thank you from us. We have, of course, the giveaway that you saw earlier on. We have the riders out on circuit. Don't forget, of course, we have discount codes, giveaways, access to pro riders. We've got lots of chats and talks coming up. Russ and I spent a long time sorting out on one of our many planning meetings this morning whilst we were out wandering the dog to make sure that we were in. Now, this is the finish line coming up, so we're about to hit the start-finish line here, and this is the rock arch. So you're going to see the guys going in and under this rock arch. This is the start-finish of the course. So we now start the first of our 3 laps, 17.3, and this is the line on the way through. And as you can see, it's used for the Fuego flats. Now on the Chaingang, we have a fixed point. We don't use the banner. The banner can change from rider to rider, and that's why we use a fixed point. We also don't produce results because it's not a race, it's a ramped workout. The only time that the moment that the flat out is on and you can put your foot to the floorboard is going to be when Russ gives the signal, which is a G-O, G-O, G-O. But that is not going to happen until everybody's in and smooth. So let's just jump up in the air with Russ, and let's get the drone up and flying. Let's take a little bit of a look. So it looks like Russ at the moment. We've got 100 riders around Russ. That's all we're going to see. Just taking a little bit of a look back for our red beacon. So we'll see. So Simon Runnick just getting a feather. If you've not seen the power-ups, if you've not watched Zwift before, power-up is what gives the game interaction and introduces some more variables which you don't get, of course, outside. Whether you doesn't come in when you're riding the turbo, it doesn't, at least if you're riding it indoors. You don't get the wind direction changing, so the power-ups give you those variables that are out there, and that is what it's all about. Now Russ at the moment riding what is going to be one of the fastest setups in Zwift for the game today. We're going to try and get a little bit of a view of Russ's bike. As you can see, he is going to be on a disc wheel on the back and a deep rim on the front. That's really important. It is faster with the right frame and with the right set of wheels than riding a Tron, a Zwift concept bike. So let's focus in on some of the members. Just going to jump in with Gagan, one of our regulars in here, and let's see if Claire. So yeah, what's happening? What's Chloe riding today? Got to just get in the right place to be able to keep an eye. So I think Gagan in the blue bike there, just pretty much alongside. There we go, on the blue Tron bike. Now this is not the fastest thing on this course, and that is quite simply because it's not quite as aerodynamic. It's not as fast. Now the fastest wheels, I think, are being ridden by MLS Ennis, who's out there. So if we see her, we'll jump in there, and that is the multicoloured disc on the back and a deep rim on the front, and that is the fastest setup you can get. So it looks at the moment like young Taylor just having to push on, and Johnny Two Dogs, looks like we've got a few people in and around the beacon tonight, so I think the Coopers are going to be keeping him company. So let's jump in with George. So George is, of course, the red beacon as was, but currently riding alongside Johnny Two Dogs. So the duo are in there. I think George was really looking forward to this, so he's going to be absolutely gutted he wasn't red beacon. But you know what? We can add him in again. We're going to be able to do that. Now, just in front is a man who had a great ride. He's one of the key people when it comes to the tech on the Chaingang members of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club DCG gang. It's Tim Cooper. Tim rides show at Pine Cycles, and great ride by Tim in his race last night. He rode the British Cycling Crit on Zwift and put in a great performance as well. Now, the bunch in front look like they are all ticking along. We're going to try and jump in around about the back of the gang here. So just in with Booth, who's on the back. Remember, if you're a member of the DCG gang, you get all of the links to the rides, and one man who's joined, a recent joinee of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, the DCG gang, is Mr. Tickle, Mark Tickle here, and welcome to the gang, mate, and lots of discount codes, getting all the links direct to Zwift in his inbox by joining the gang. Looks like King with him as well. So Rory King, another member of the DCG gang, two DCG gang members together, just on the back of that bunch, just sitting in with the pack, doing a great job of riding. Now, really interesting to see that all the big names that we expect to see at the front are in at the back, making sure that they're in there. Now, one of the things you do need to remember, if you've got a useless power-up, bin it off really early. This is our climb. And this is maybe where you'd want to put in a feather flag if you have it, because this is as steep as it gets pretty much into towards the waterfall. And if we take a little bit of a run out from our riders, we can see that they are running around the edge of the waterfall as it drops down into the river running out. So let's take a little look at our duo on the back, steadily working their way up. So looks like Mr. Tickle just pushing onto the back. Remember, mate, 6 meters is the gap. Craig Herring sitting in here. Craig, another of our fantastic DCG gang members, Donny Chaingang members. And that's what we're looking for. Oh, that'll be the place. That's what we want to see. So let's have a little bit of a look. Charlie Babbitt is in here now. Charlie was a winner in the very first draw that we had for the Veloskin goodies for the members of the DCG gang. Good to see Charlie in here. Just seeing Darren Topless just on his way through. Darren, of course, another of our members of the gang. Just keeping an eye on these riders. Good to see Jess Learmouth is back with us. Going to try and jump in with Jess. Jess had even had a fan stalker in the gang, and here we go. So Jess rolling well, so that's what we want to see. And Jess at the moment 91 revs per minute, ticking out the watts as well. Now, this isn't necessarily a course that's going to suit our lighter riders, but we'll see how this course pans out as they make their way through this group, and making the way out from inside the caves in the desert, and now heading out on to the section of course that is again pancake flat. So going to jump in with Tristan Harrogate, a man who had a good ride on what is home turf for him when we're in Harrogate for the Yorkshire circuit. And good to see one of our members going back out and riding the circuit looking for Bolton Abbey. There's a big debate whether it's Bolton or Revo Abbey. It's really simple. It's not there in real life, but the big squirrel was there. If you don't know what we're talking about, get yourselves onto the Facebook page for the Donny Chaingang. Follow on the Instagram, and make sure, of course, you give myself, that's at Matt Fixer Payne, a follow, whether that's on Zwift, Facebook, Instagram, or similar. Make sure you go on onto Russ Downing as well. Russ, of course, on the all the social media. So Russ Downing, at Russ Downing, and of course at Veloskin, our fantastic supporters for this week on the Donny Chaingang. And if you are a member, don't forget, of course, make sure you get in and get those free samples sent to you. It doesn't cost you a penny, not even postage. It is there to come directly to you. Now, Tristan just sitting on the outside on that yellow concept bike. And as you can see, big group of riders around Russ at the moment. Going to jump in with Mr. Hopkinson. So Hopkinson, the next rider to feature, again another of our regular riders, and become a member of the DCG gang. Again, getting all of those discount codes coming directly into his inbox. I'm just going to take our drone a little bit further up in the air. Don't want to crash into any trees and destroy the foliage. It doesn't do our green credentials much good at all. And at the moment, rolling around by Russ, it's looking pretty smooth at the moment. Good to see how it smells in here, and it's riding very, very strongly. As riding at the weekend, he was absolutely flying in the crit races at the weekend, and good to see he is in action, riding well here at the moment. So just keeping an eye on the riders. Mark Thwaites is back with us. Can see Mark in here. Alistair Cootie is in as well. And just keeping an eye on the riders. Butch in this group. Luke Taylor is in here as well. Andy Singleton in once again. And, oh, I just missed Miss Cookie coming through, because Miss Cookie, Sarah Grimshaw, a winner in today's prize draw. Sarah's going to get a voucher for the Veloskin products of £50. And our women's yellow beacon says hello, Miss Grimshaw, because she's looking forward to see you on Wednesday. So let's see how the riders are doing. Now, one of the good things about this course is we're going to see where everybody's going. So we go out this way, we come back again, we go out, we come back, we go out and come back. It is going to be very entertaining, 3 laps of this. We will also see people coming back in the opposite direction once we've hit the turn. So it'll be a really good indicator of just how spread out this group really is. Remember, we've got 3 laps of the course to do, and at the moment this group are riding well all around Russ. Our red beacon is a little bit further back, so I'm just going to drop back down to Russ, but as you can see, one solid bunch all the way down to Russ, who is sat down in this group. So this is our yellow beacon at the moment, just coming into downtown Watopia. In the desert, the towns here, we have a multitude of towns, and of course this neon palace, of course a little bit of a tribute to Vegas out in the desert here on the Zwift platform, this fantastic platform, absolutely awesome. Remember guys, no point in pushing on early. The riders we will cover, as a lot of our riders discovered, are the riders that are with Russ at the Go-Go go. It may turn into one, as Russ says, but it won't happen if anybody is going early. Be aware that a number of our riders have already had phone calls who were off the front last ride we were out, and we will chase it up. We do make sure that everybody's aware of the tactics. In fact, everybody signs on and agrees to stay with the go in the terms and conditions that they sign up for. So remember, guys, stay around that yellow beacon, please, guys. The aim is to stay with the yellow beacon. Easier said than done for some of our riders, so that means we're going to take a little bit of a run back as we come into the turn here. Let's sit at the back of the group at the moment. We're just in with Mr. Brooks. Looks like Richardson just drifting back a touch at the moment. And into the turn we go. So it looks like nobody is heading off in the opposite direction at this stage, which is always good to see. Just riding in with Ian Brooks here, another member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Remember, guys, it's how we keep the show on the road. It's how we keep bringing you the rides. It gets you the ride information early, previews. It gets you all of the links in to VeloViewer, into the fantastic site that is Zwift Insider, that tells you all about the courses, gives you previews, gives you places to check out the ride. So we're now coming round the turn. I can just see the red beacon is probably going to be coming in the opposite direction relatively soon. We're going to be out and taking the right-hand turn. Just riding in with Brooks at the moment. Let's go in. This is the view that he's likely to have on his screen. A lot of our riders just stay on one camera view. So it looks like the red beacon coming in the opposite direction. So this is Johnny Two Dogs going the opposite way. And just hearing that the red beacon, who's just gone in the opposite direction, has got at least one or two people around him. So let's drop in to the gang behind. So it looks to me like it is going to be Grant at the moment. So Grant just pushing into the back of the pack at the minute, and just watching Mark on here, just going to be chasing that beacon. May well have had a dropout. I don't think the beacon is all that far away. Right in front of the beacon, in fact. There we go. So it looks like we've got Johnny Two Dogs and Mr. Cooper in there. So our drone flies into the wall. Apologies if it's your wall. Actually, Swiss wall. So this is our pack at the back. So the guys here are in, and it looks like he's been jumping backwards and forwards with the kit and with dropouts. So now let's have a little bit of a look. It is going to be Turton just up the road at the moment. So just riding in with Turton. Then it's going to be Tim Corby just a little bit further up the road, about 35 seconds up the road for Tim. So Tim at the moment just working to push on up. Now he's looking for the back of the pack, which I suspect is going to be Richardson. As you can see, the pace is already picking up because there are riders starting to drop off the back here. So riders starting to feel the pace. You can just see the beacon sweeping away. We're watching Richardson at the moment, who is the second of these riders. And if we go back to our helicopter shot up in the air, as it pans round, we're going to be picking up the beacon, and just see a number of riders just dropping back to help out. Looks like McLeod just going back, and they're going to be looking to bring the riders back in to the pack and back together. So in with Richardson at the moment, and just seeing McLennan just up the road for us, just coming back. Looks like we've got power dropouts for McLennan, and it's going to be Butcher. So this is Butcher at the moment, just kicking out 80 euros per minute, nice and smooth. Let's have a little look. We've got Burkitt here, and then we've got Jones. So it looks like Burkitt just out of the back there. Then John Paul Wheater just taking a little bit of a cyclocross day out, diving in and through the flowers on the sides, and just jumping back in. So we're just going to take a little bit of a run through this group, just being spat out just in front of Russ. But it looks like that pack holding together reasonably well. A quick reminder, guys, you do need to stay in with the yellow beacon. If you're watching this back and you haven't heard me say that 1,000 times before, be prepared to be very bored of me saying it by the end of the day. It's a ramp workout, and that is the plan. That's why we literally will ring people up and go, oi, or can you tell us why you're off the front? Was it a tech issue? We're generally nice about it, unless people are regular offenders. So just riding in with Dobson on the back, another fast rider here. So it looks like he's sitting in the pack. The geared up cycles rider we know is going to be in a little bit later in the kill. Another man who we know is going to be right up in the fight for the win is Dan Coleman. Coleman in this group, and we're just going to take a little bit of a look. Dan just rolling around. I think it's going to be about a 87, 89 revs per minute, 99 beats per minute, so clearly not working too hard. But as Dan knows, the ramped workout is a way to get the biggest improvements as fast as possible. That's why we see so many increases. Now, the riders behind, it is going to be 1 minute 50 back to our red beacon at the moment, which is pretty close really at this stage. We're already 13k into the ride. If we just take a little bit of a zoom out from Mr. Coleman, you just see the yellow beacon just rolling around, but that group is staying together at the moment. Remember, of course, it does pick up as the ride goes on, but we're about to go diving into the caves here. Just going into the gorge, and then we go through the sandstone caves and in towards the lakeside and the waterfall. So just jumping in with Louis here from Veloskin. Louis in the pack. Don't forget, of course, the guys at Veloskin practice what they preach. We've had a lot of their riders on. We had Chris on, and Louis on Tuesday. Louis making it back here once again, and good to see that Louis is here. And of course, remember, Louis, a very fast rider in his own right, and of course one of the key men at Veloskin, and looking pretty smooth in there in that GCN. Got a pocket full of ride-ons, that is for sure. That is the way to give somebody support on Zwift, and as you can see in his back pocket there, it is well and truly stuffed full of ride-ons. And Louis at the moment sitting nicely in that group, just rolling around by Russ. Just seen Harrison Tacey in this group as well. And pretty much everybody knows this is the best place to be to move forward. Good to see Fiona Kesteven is in this group. Ambler's in here, Joe Munden's in here. As we run past this waterfall section, Sean Ferron just sitting on the wheels with Russ there by the look of it as well. So Sean, a member of the DCG gang too. And the riders looking good as they make their way around. John Garfoot's in this pack as well. They might be able to just about make John out. We might have to put the drone up in the air to catch John. John sat in the pack, and John again, another of our fantastic DCG gang members. So John Garfoot's rolling around by the side of Russ at the moment, and in just the right place. And good to see him in action. Another of our members, it is going to be Phil in there, but we're just riding in with Joe Jarvis. Joe, another of our DCG gang members, and Joe, a regular on the men's and women's open Tuesdays and Thursdays, and on the women's only Chaingang on a Wednesday, which is every other Wednesday. Now, we have one more of the standard block that we had left, and that is going to be next week on Wednesday. Don't forget, don't bother trying to enter it if you're a guy, it doesn't work. If your avatar is male, you can't join a women's ride. That's how it works on Zwift. If those Women's Wednesdays have been fun and you've been enjoying them, if you're one of our female riders, then don't forget to keep your eyes open on the Facebook page and Emma are women's yellow beacon, and the women's ride is going to be bringing you news that we are going to be releasing another one, which is going to be a special. It's going to be a crit special in Crit City. It's going to be 2 weeks after the next one, so basically in 2.5 weeks time, nearly 3 weeks time. Right, let's jump in with a few other riders. Now in with Crosscast Neil part of the Pretty Gritty team, Pretty Gritty HQ, and Neil, of course, a very quick rider, regularly in these rides and working hard at the moment, and my co-host on the Crosscast. I'm looking forward to seeing all the Cross gang back when we come back in September in real life, hopefully this year, rather than just being on the mic for the odd random one national and one local. In fact, last year it was 3 gigs in 12 months, which is an all-time low. Normally it's 3 gigs in a week. But things change, and it has allowed us the time to develop this, so fantastic. Now, Ben Zwift is watching on YouTube. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Great to see he is tuning in and watching the action here. And Ben Zwift, of course, is the national champ. He's got his national champ's jersey that we gave away. We gave away his jersey. We took it off his back and we gave it away, or rather he did give it to us. Thanks, Ben. And we've got to say a massive thank you to him and to all of our members. In the end, that was drawn out by a random number generator, and the man who took that away was Karl Kopinski, a member and supporter since the very start of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. So just keeping an eye on Mr. Licensing here. So Gareth License, one of our regular riders, just keeping an eye on Mr. Herring in here. Craig, another of our members of the DCG gang. It was good to put face to a name out on the Chaingang, and nice wave. Thank you very much, Craig. And as you can see, Craig quite happy to be able to wave one-handed as he rides through the bunch simultaneously. And it was really good to see him not quite in real life, but at least to be able to see his face on Zoom for the OTE talk. And remember, we've got lots of chats and stuff lined up through the summer as well for our riders who are members of the DCG gang. Just because it gets sunny and you can ride outside doesn't mean you need to leave the gate. It means basically we're going to bring you stuff that's maybe a little more relevant. Not everybody will need to ride all the time, but we're going to bring you lots of great info, lots of great guests, and of course lots of great chats, as well as all those discount codes. So Craig Harry says he's going to nip in with George's bus when it's open. I think Johnny Lightfoot has stolen the seat just so that George can dispense the drinks with a little bit more ease. So looking good on the way through at the moment. We're just going to take a little run through here. Looks like Gagan in here now. This is one of our new members of the DCG gang. This is Emily Seeker Ennis. Now, this is the fastest setup on the flat, other than a time trial bike, and it's the fastest one that you can draft in. So you can just see Emma in the black kit with the flat cap on, and the grey frame with a multicoloured disc just buried right in the middle of the pack, and hopefully just going to pop back out of the side of the pack any second. Now Emma is riding the fastest setup you can get on the flat. This is the multicolour zip wheels, which is the disc on the back and a deep aero front with the aero frame, and that is faster than the concept bike. If you want to know how fast, make sure you go on to Zwift Insider, and that will be able to tell you all of the details. You can geek out to your heart's content. Now, coming round into the turn once again, good to see the group there. It's an aero frame, Mr. Herring. That's all I can say. I'm not allowed to say exactly which one. Craig Herring asking me exactly which frame it is, but get on the Zwift Insider and do your homework on there. So, nice big group here. The riders just starting to feel the pace at the back. Looks like Wilson at the moment is just dropping off. Going to have to push on. Nice Pinarello underneath, and look at that. No problems pushing in to the group. We're going to jump in with some of these riders just rolling around the back. Easier said than done because we're about to jump out of the turn. So can't go too far at the moment. Just in with Sam Emsley at the minute, and just going to jump up in the air. The Cryogen rider sat in the group there, just seeing. I think that's Katie Coldclough on her way through. So just getting a message from one of our new riders. It is, of course, the irrepressible superstar that is Rebecca Charlton, just a new member of the DCG gang, and good to have Rebecca on board. It really is a star-studded gang that you can join. It's not exclusive to our members. We just want you to help us to make the Chaingang happen. The Donny Chaingang, the Facebook page is the YouTube coverage. So this is the final run in towards the finishing line. Just see our red beacon coming in the opposite direction. I think the two beacons are going to go underneath the pillar at the same time. They are indeed. That's the finish line. Remember, we have now gone round and we have gone through with 1 lap done, 2 laps left to go, and the power of the DCG bunch, it's happening. Look at that. Just for Chris Heseltine Chains, it's snowing confetti. It is raining them down on PRs. There you go, mate. Just for you. Don't say I don't love you, because you know I do. So just keeping an eye just with Gregory, just seeing Simon Wiley go through. Mr. Hallis is here, one of our real quick riders, sitting in around Russ now. The pace is going to pick up to 3 watts per kilo. Now this should not be a problem for this man. This is the man to watch out for. He's a marked man in that red and black jersey. We do get questions, why does the ride not have a ride jersey for the DCG? We have been offered and we won't take it. Do you know why? Can you imagine trying to pick out from all these riders one rider when everybody's wearing exactly the same kit? It's not gonna work, and that is why it's in there. We have riders who are off the back look for the same jerseys week on, week out. The moment that we can ban a jersey, we will have a jersey, and then we'll just take it out for the DCG rise. However, till that point, unfortunately, guys, we are going to say no. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have some more developments that mean you can really feel part of the gang. So the riders are looking good. In here, the yellow beacon in and around lots of the pack here. And this is what we want to see now. Remember, that pace has gone up. Russ calling it up just a little bit faster. So let's have a little bit of a check down here. We're just seeing, I think Phillips has just dropped off of the back here. Now remember, we did have the Army Cycling Championships as Turner now drops off the pace. And you can see as we look at Turner here. Coleman now on the back, and Turner just seeing that group go. So on a very lightweight bike, a very lightweight frame, but the downside of that is it's not much use on a very fast flat course. It's all about the aerodynamic drag. Zwift gets the bikes and it makes sure that you get everything together. Now, you've got to remember that you are going to get differences. Don't just rely on the star values on the bikes on the screens. Make sure you go on Zwift Insider, check out the kit, check out the bikes. They do all have different drag coefficients, and they've done the tests for you. You don't have to do them. Now, Turner dropping off the back here, and now going to put a kick on to try and get onto a Woodall's wheel. Woodall just coming up and through. As you can see, the red beacon currently about 3.5 minutes down on the yellow beacon as they come through town here. You can see just how hard it is for these guys to get back in touch. Now, Woodall is a really strong rider. We know he's more than capable of taking it to the fast riders on the hills. Has he got the power to get back on, turn and jumping onto the wheels? If you're a strong rider, this is what you want to do. You want to go back, pull the riders on. If you need to get those intervals in before it ramps up, that's the way to do it. Now, into the gorge we go. And as you can see, the riders coming in and through. Great to see them in action. And look at this, the riders about to make the junction back on with the back of the bunch. That is some work by Woodall done there. So you can see them starting to make the way in and through this bunch now, heading in towards the waterfalls. So just jumping in with Miss Cookie. This is, of course, Sarah Grimshaw, and Sarah, one of our winners in the competition today, and just going into this waterfall area at the moment. Cookie holding in the pack here, and you can see one or two riders just drifting off the back. So just coming in as Cookie just hanging them on the back there. 1 or 2 riders going back there. It looks like Drybo just dropping off the back. Killer dropping off the back. They'll soon push in around Russ here. And as you can see, plenty of riders sitting in this group as we come underneath the waterfalls in the case. We're going to be heading out of the gorge in a second. Our camera just panning around to get a little bit of a view out from the riders. As you can see, this fantastic world of Watopia. It really is a great place to ride in terms of being online, because it's been designed to be ridden as a game. And that's what you've got to remember. This is designed as a game, landscaping Watopia. And that's something you don't necessarily get when we go to, say, London, or if you follow the real world, for example, somewhere like Richmond, the Alp or similar. It's not that accurate in terms of, it doesn't profess to be a completely accurate representation. It's really close, but it doesn't lose sight of the fact it is indoor riding, and there's not the same variables. You would never replicate it. You know, the old jokes of having a mud machine for replicating cyclocross on your turbo trainer is definitely true, and that's why this plays very well. And one of the reasons the Watopia courses are great to ride in the group is that's what they're designed to be done, ridden in the Zwift game. Now, these courses have lend themselves to big group rides, and today it is definitely interesting to see that there are plenty of riders feeling the pressure. Remember, it's been taken up, it's ticking along, and the group round Russ is where it's at. Now, occasionally we do get people popping messages up on screen saying there's some riders gone off the front or similar. They don't count. It's really easy. I think Sonia's phrase was dead pixels. The aim is where it needs to be, is right with Russ, because that's where we view it from. And that's what we're looking for, and it's super smooth. If you're sitting with Russ, it's smooth, it gets the speed up nicely, you'll get the ramp coming in, and then what will happen is you can then put the attack. It's no good doing intervals before, so the riders all sat in the group. Mr. Oxenham is suffering from the new draft. There's always one moaner. Simon, be happy, mate. You use less energy when you're smiling, I promise you. Smile and wiggle your fingers. Best phrase ever. So just in with Matlock at the moment, just rolling around the side of Russ there. Great to see him in this group. We're going to see if we can pick on a few other riders now. Looks like Dobson's sitting in the draft here. Daltrey sitting, doing the same, just sitting near the back. Gilbert's near the back at the moment. Hutchinson's in here. Dobson, Hopkinson, just jumping in with Russ now. No, Russ will have left his disc wheels in for tonight. You won't have gone for anything different. So it looks like the dogma of Russ looking super smooth at the minute. Just getting messages coming pinging in over the airways one way or another, and great to see so many people enjoying it. That is for sure. And just keep good to see Mr. Oxenham is apparently smiling. Is that because you've got a spare pie waiting for you when you finish, mate? It's always my gate keeps me smiling. Tonight's pre-ride food was not OTE goodness in, goodness out. Mine was garbage in, no riding tonight. Proper locally made Cornish pasty. Totally, definitely not the food of champions, believe me. Oh, looks like we might be having a few people feeling it at the back of the group. We're going to try and just drop back from Russ here. Are we losing a number of riders off the back? Martin Bolt is on here. Come on, guys, push up, push up. Now's the time. This is where it counts. Don't let those gaps go. 6 meters, 3 bike lengths is the critical distance. The distance everybody needs to remember. Herring, Dowtrey pacing back Martin Bolt. This is how the Chaingang works. This is what we want to see. Martin has been our red beacon. There was a time when he got that job. Do you know why he got the job? Because he was plumbing last time and time again, and he was getting better and better. He has been our red beacons more than anybody else. And do you know what? He's improved, and he got too fast to be the red beacon. And we had to introduce a rotor because this man used the Chaingang and got quicker, and a real legend, a member of the DCG gang from the word go when we introduced it, and it's fantastic to see him in here. Keep pushing, Martin, not too much further to get in. If you are at the back, you really do have to push onwards. So Mr. Oxenham has got a pot noodle. I think Russ getting ready for a pint of Guinness as a recovery food. We will see. Best thing is, of course, a proper recovery drink from OTE. That is always the way to go. And whilst I might joke about it, I must admit I am a little bit of a fanatic when it comes in to making sure that you get the recovery drink in that critical golden window after you finish. It really does make a difference in being able to ride time and time again, and ride hard as well. Your training sessions are always better if you're properly fueled, you recover, and you're ready for the next one. Otherwise you're going to waste your energy. So it is about getting the right food in, the right mix in. The easiest way to do that, recovery drink, of course. OTE stuff, really good. Interesting to see Darren Topless's comments about the drinks from OTE. He was saying that they're not sweet, that they are a more isotonic-y tasting drink, in terms of it is a more less sweet, less sticky, less syrupy, and a lot better for taking on board when you're feeling warm. Now coming into the turn, this pack is staying together nicely here. This really is good, and this is what we want to see. Now if we had people off the front, we'd actually see them coming the other direction, and that's not happening now. Looks like the gang at the moment discussing the loading up or unloading. We're going to leave them to it. So we see one or two people just taking a little bit of a flick turn out there. They're not up to Japarov doing that. It is more a case of the avatar going a bit rogue on them, as Cookie now starting to feel the pressure. Come on, Grimshaw, get on there. You've got 50 quid's worth of Veloskin products coming your way. You'll be able to get lots of leg soothing gel when you need it. So time to push on. Mr. Bolt pushing here. You can see this is what happens. The gang gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and that's the idea. Ramp it up, get it quicker and quicker, bring it on, and that is what we want to see. So Mr. Bolt in here, just seeing Tompkins now running around the back. Looks like Salamat's in here, and just sitting on the group there. Just time to push on, mate. You've really got to be pushing the pace up. So Salamat at the moment down at 1.3. You really got to push, mate, to get back into the group. Could well be that his legs have gone pop and he's backed off. Going to keep watching those numbers, but as you can see, this is how fast that gap goes. Watch how fast the group go away. If you're not careful, you'll lose the group. Now Salamat has to push hard here to get himself back into the group, and that's going to take some doing. The back of the pack is Crichton, and if we take a look back from Crichton, look at the gap that has opened up. You have a moment's inattention, drop your phone, and as you can see, dropping out of view because not within sight of the nearest 100 riders. We take a look up. This is if we're looking through the Oakleys on Mr. Crichton here. Let's drop his avatar back in for you. And as you can see, so it really does have to push on here on a concept bike, so clearly a experienced rider. But if we take a little bit of a view with the drone cam, you can just see those gaps have opened up, and it is a dangerous thing to do. You've got to know that you're strong enough to get back on the pack. The draft will take people along now. Dropping in with another of our riders, one of our quick riders, just going to watch to see if people get back on here. But this is basic in the gang, another great rider in the men's and women's open rides. That is Tuesday and Thursdays, and in the women's only, and these guys are looking good. Now when we suggested this, and when Russ and I were talking about this, we were looking at it wondering how this would play out to ride, and this is what we can see. We're not getting any breaks in there, and people are able to keep the pace, and this should be one of our fastest chain gangs. Start off super slow and rolling up nice and fast. Now the red beacon has just gone off in the opposite direction, just see him disappearing off out of sight behind, and these riders are thinking, just keeping an eye on this, see where they're going to be. So Johnny Two Dogs, who is red beacon with, he's currently driving the bus for George. George's not young enough to drive, so Johnny Two Dogs driving the bus, and George Cooper serving drinks today. It's just seen Lovell go off the back here. Now, Lovell has been in race action last night, and good to see him in here. Now, David Lovell is, of course, one of our members of the DCG gang, but is Mr. J Lovell. Let's have a double check of the membership. So I'm not sure that he is. I have to do something about that. We'll do a little bit of leaning on him, get him to join, but at the moment, looking good out the back of the group here. Just going to try and push on to get back in. He's got some deep wheels in there and a relatively aero frame. Pattison is the rider currently being distanced. Herring sitting at the back, pretty comfy. So just having a little look at the times in here. Looks like Joe Munden has got the fastest women's time, and I think Joe is riding a mountain bike today. That is a brave move on here. So one way, if you want to increase the wattage that you need to put out to stay with the group, the way to do that is to go with a mountain bike. And as you can see here, Joe Munden doing that and still getting the fastest lap time. The way to get the fastest lap time is to stay in the group, to be at the back of the group coming in to the lap, and then pushing up towards Russ as you go through. Now, a number of riders wishing they were heavier. Charlie Babbitt wishing he was heavier. I'm sure you don't, mate, believe me. It's an 83.9 kilo rider, which is my exact weight. I only know that because I have to put it in because I've been racing. It doesn't work, mate. It's not good. Now, let's have a look at the riders up here. We've, I think Sonia Inslee was looking for an airdrop of Veloskin products. Well, you would have some as a member. If you've put your order in, you get a massive discount off from Veloskin, and of course you will be helping the Chaingang as well if you order with that discount. Now, looks like Road Phil at the moment. Come on, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones feeling the pressure, held into the 31k, 46 minutes 44 seconds I think it was when the elastic went ping, and it's on the run up this climb. Now Phil Jones, another fantastic supporter, a man who we've talked to at length about the Chaingang, and one of the key men when it comes to cycle sport in the UK, strong supporter of cycling teams, cycle events. And great to see him in there. In fact, Neutral Service is pretty much single-handedly sponsored by these guys in the UK. So this is impressive. Now, let's have a look at the group. Phil just gone. We're going to take a little bit of a run up to our next. Now, Archie Allen sitting in the group here. Archie Allen, one of our youngsters in the Cycle Academy up in Scotland, under the tutelage of Jimmy Mack. And as you can see, just jumping into the back of Russ's wheel. And this group has been going well. Mr. Herring putting an emoticon in there. It's not going to work, mate, because it doesn't come back out on the screens. As Ellen just pushing in now. Russ needs to concentrate, he thinks. Russ, stay at the right pace, mate. Right number of watts. No good getting dropped because you're too busy typing. Anyone wonders how he does it? Russ does not have a secretary typing for him. He doesn't have anybody taking dictation. Russ does not use a voice app. Russ literally types these messages in as he's riding. You wonder why we've got the former national champion, a crit rider par excellence, a winner of the Tour of Ireland, working as our yellow beacon. Russ and I, when we got together, we knew we'd complement each other. He rides fast, I don't. He doesn't do the same amount of talking I do. Not sure anybody really does. So just watching Ellen on the back here. It's how to get coverage for your team, for your club. Get on the back with the group at the back and keep it on going. So Russ at the moment is ticking away. So as Russ says, short and Matt is concentrating. So Russ Downing has done many things in his life. We can tell you all about it. Russ, of course, has got some great stories to tell, and Russ and I have been discussing how we're going to get those stories out there. No, we're not going to write a book. I hate writing books. It's horrible. It's like being back at school. Let me talk about it instead. However, if you're a member of the DCG gang, watch this space. You never know what might be coming up soon. Hopefully I managed to put Russ off enough to keep the pace down. That's my aim, keep everybody together as long as we can. Get everybody some personal best times, some fastest times, and it's going to happen as the pace steadily picks up. Now, just taking a little bit of a look back here. Katie Coldclough in this group at the back here. Good to see Katie in here. Young Tom Wolfe is in the group as well. Goddard's in here. Looks like Brennan is in as well. Just having a little look around this group. Looks like Tim Bag's in here. Sandler's in this group. Keeping on dropping back, just trying to find the back of this group. Easier said than done, as Dickinson is sat pretty much at the back. So here we go. This is currently the back of the group, and Charlie Babbitt is feeling the pace. Charlie is in here. I think it's Charlie in the blue just moving up, and Miss Cookie on the back. Just see that highlighted and sitting nicely in this group. Do you know, there was a time when Miss Cookie was getting distance. Not anymore. She's in with the group now. This could well be a record time for Miss Cookie. Good to see our riders progressing. The Open Chaingang, the Tuesdays and Thursdays, Women's Wednesdays, bringing our riders on, giving people something to look forward to. And there's certainly no way that Russ and I, when we first got together and we were working on all the tests for this, for the Chaingang and the coverage, we were going through it and we thought, oh, we'll get 20 or 30 riders. Definitely not the case now. We're going to see how our riders are doing. It's looking pretty smooth at the moment. It's certainly very fast, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how these riders go, because this has been really, really quick now. Let's have a look and let's see how the guys are doing at the moment. Stewart in here, looks like Brennan in here, Sadler in here, Singleton's in here, Bowley's in here. Everybody's looking pretty smooth at the moment. Just going to take a little run back. I think Archie Allen just sitting at the back. Just have a little look who's up, who's holding in the right place. Looks like Darren Topless in there. Darren, of course, one of our winners in the OTE giveaway. Mr. Hallam is back with us. Good to see you, mate. We've got Mr. License. Looks like a certain Mr. Radcliffe is in here as well. Now, this man is quick. He's very aggressive. He's very fast. He's an aggressive rider on the hills. The question is, has he got the pace to hold everybody off? He had a great win when we were riding in America, in New York. And in that red Gamba jersey, he's pretty distinctive to pick out with that hairdo as well. Not necessarily got the lightest kit in the bunch of everybody. And look at that, we go underneath the gantry. And you can see there is some really, really fast times from these riders as they go through the first direction. They come back, they get the reverse times as they go back through. It really is a great way for us to keep an eye on what's going on in the riders. So, just trying to roll our way in and round this group. It's looking pretty good at the moment. Fiona Kesterman still sitting rolling in. Simon Wiley in here now. Simon Wiley's had a few tech issues. Simon, a rider you've got to keep an eye on. A GB squad rider off-road in the cyclocross. Definitely a skilled rider. Great to watch him on the cyclocross course. Had the privilege of being on the mic on the National Series for a long time now, and definitely don't take it for granted. It's definitely an honour. I really love doing it, and looking forward to hopefully get some cross this winter if we manage to get lots of events on. That's going to be brilliant, and looking forward to watch riders like Simon Wiley, who is absolutely flawless out there. Very rare he makes some mistakes. He makes the obstacles look easy, makes everything from the hurdles, the barriers in cyclocross right the way to the big mountain bike jumps off-road on the mountain bike, and the big drop-offs look like they're nothing. So just seeing Hepton in here. I'm sure I've just seen Louis. Here we are, just in with Louis, and the go has gone. All of a sudden the pressure has gone down. We're going to try and run our way right up to the front of this. The go has gone really early here, and just keeping an eye on this group. We're just going to run in with Radcliffe and Dryberg at the moment. Now Dryberg was in with the group when the go went. So time for our wonderful super duper camera to come in as we watch Driver, the leader of the group. So remember, Dryberg leading this out, a super fast run now as Dryberg leading the group, Bowley and Herring in here as well. So Dryberg just being absorbed a little bit by this group at the moment, just rolling in with Mason now. Going to go up in the air with Mason. We know Mason, one of our faster riders, going to be right in this pack at the moment. Certainly looking like he's a rider that we need to watch out for, as he's making his way up. Coleman in this group as well. Craig Herring in the group as they push onwards. It is still a big pack here, it has to be said. So just sitting in with Pat Sagan's just seeing Wiley's made his way up into the group here. Just keeping a check on the names as we go past. Wonders of having multiple recording systems on the go at once, always good. So just seeing a red beacon coming back the opposite direction at the moment. That's good to see. The fat cyclist in there, Dan Coleman in there, working well together. So clearly been a few panicked people out there on the road. And Bowley's in this group, just pushing on. Looks like Dan Coleman certainly working well. Young Mr. Hutchinson, who is right in with the gang at the right time. That's exactly what we want to see. And just our cameras just up in the air. We're going to drop back in with him as they come in and through this group. But riding well together at the moment. Nice big pack here. So the helicopter still stuck up in the air. Looks like Shelley Childs rolling around in the group at the moment. And so we're just seeing one or two people just pushing on up this climb. See one or two feather flags going in. It's the only time you can actually use them is in here. Just in with one of our real quick men. This is, of course, Mr. Coleman. And he can see what's going on the front of the group. He's going to keep an eye on it. Now they're going to try and keep a track of the riders who are with the lead group as they come in and through here. And it's going to be really interesting to see just how fast people want to push it up. The riders who are in that pack will have better legs. They'll be working less hard than the people who are maybe a little bit further up and doing too much work into the wind. This is all about saving your legs for the key time at the moment now. Russ Downing sitting in this group. You just see that yellow chevron overhead as Harrison Tacey starts to push the pace a little bit, making sure he's sat in the right place. Another of the really aggressive, really fast riders in the Donny Chaingang, one of the regulars always to be found around Russ. And around the pack before that, go, looking super smooth at the moment. Tacey not doing too much work, and Tacey at the moment, if we work our way in, you just see sitting on those wheels, fastest frame and second fastest wheel set in the game at the moment when it comes to a flat ride. So it looks like Tacey doing the smart thing, sitting in there, keeping it out of the wind at the moment. Now behind this group, it is starting to fracture quite substantially. You can see riders going off the back in ones and twos at the moment, and that's what we expect to see. So those groups go back. If we take a little bit of a zoom out, you can see dots and groups forming now. If you are watching, listening live, and you're not in the lead group, now is the time to find some riders. Do not sit there on your own, pedalling away like mad. Don't do a map that it was on his own, stuck in the race after everybody else bailed on the way round. Well, my category bailed anyway. And it is a case that you end up on your own. You want to sit up and wait for a group. This is not a crit race, this is, or a points race. This is about sitting in as the pace goes fast. Now, looks like Herring is going to be more fried and battered than he would care to be. He's off the group, so he's indeed kippered out. So good luck, Craig. Find a group and ride on in to the finish. We're going to be keeping an eye on this pack as it works its way through the desert here in Tempus, Fugit. Looks like Darryl Tashiel-Waller in this group, sitting in with the pack. It's probably what we would expect at this stage in the game. The fat cyclist rolling in the group as well. Looks like Neil from the Crosscaster making the junction as well. So Neil coming across with Russ not too far away. We saw his numbers go right up when that go went. And just rolling with Tacey at the moment. Just now in with Smales. Smales sat with the group, looking pretty smooth at the moment. So just rolling in with Russ at the moment, sat in this pack. The true fast men now starting to roll themselves into the right position in the pack. One or two riders thinking about going up the road, but we're just working our way back through the footage of those riders who weren't, there were one or two riders not in with the group at the go, and those riders that were off the front won't be covered. So just going back through the coverage and just checking that we've got all of the riders in the pack. We know who was in the right place and who wasn't. We've got a couple of riders just pushing on the front, and we will see if they manage to stay clear as we come into this turn. We take the left turn here, and the pack rolling well at the moment. So this pack settling in to a group at the moment, just working their way along, and we're just going to work our way back a little bit from the leading group in a second, and work our way back through those riders away from Russ. So just going to let them get out and around the turn. We've got to be careful we don't drop into a group too far behind. You see, this is a pretty fast moving and pretty big pack as they go through. Sam Emsley was in the main group on there. So we know Sam riding well in this group, and we know he's a fast rider when it comes to the flats, in the right place at the right time. Pretty much invariably in here. Good to see Craig Herring, although he said his legs were suffering, he's in this group quite nicely at the moment. Just going to work our way down. I think just riding in with Jimmy Allen. So Jimmy Allen looking good at the moment as he makes his way down. Now we're going to try and drop back into one of the groups behind. Easier said than done at this stage in the game, because we're looking to see not the groups going in the opposite direction, because that makes life just a little bit more tricky. So at the moment this is our leading group. I think our next rider, it potentially could be group 2. It is. So this is group 2 out on the road by the look of it. So just riding in with them. We're just going to get up in the air. So this is our second group out on the road at the moment, and I think there's plenty of members of the DCG gang in here as well, which is what we want to see. So it looks like Mr. Lovett is in here. Good to see Kieran Ross, one of the newer riders, in there. Looks like Louis is in the group from the team at Veloskin. Excuse me. So Owen Fletcher's in here. Owen Fletcher in the gang. Katie Colclough, who we're riding with at the moment, sitting in this. The Colclough regulars on the Chaingang. Great to have the family in and joining us now. In with Owen Fletcher. So this is Fletcher at the minute. And just riding in with Fletcher in this group as they go in and past, and looks really interesting to see that he's going well at the moment. So Fletcher, one of the DCG members in that white jersey, the Tour de Zwift jersey at the moment. Everybody pushing on those pedals, just keeping the pace nice and high. And Fletcher now going up on the front. It's just going to come around Lovett at the moment. Jumping onto the wheel now. Luke Taylor going on the outside. So well, good to see Taylor pushing on through here. So a good group of riders. This is the second group on the road. Just jumping in with Louis, the Veloskin man himself. And we're just trying to see how he's going. He's in the GCN kit, sat in the middle of the bunch pretty much. So looking good on his way through. Now remember, this ride is 55 k's in theory. We've got about 700 metre warm down. So looks good. This is a really nice pack here, working really well together, and this is what the Chaingang's all about. These guys working, keeping it smooth, increasing their power. Remember, it's a sort of warm up, and these guys looking really good. Great to see a nice pack working well together, and that's what this course lends itself to, it has to be said. So the leaders just coming in towards the gorging in towards the lake at the moment. Now this group are just pushing on, so we're just going to try and go towards the back of the group. I think it's Shelley just sitting at the back. Now the group behind, I think, are at about 17 seconds. So this is group number 3. So if you're watching this back, guys, this is the third group at this stage. We're going to try and get up and above around everybody, and try and get a good view of everybody out on the course here. So this is group number 3. So Mike Killingsworth in here, Vin Donahue in here, all members of the Donny Chaingang Supports Club, the DCG gang. Just riding in with Mr. Ambrose Here we go. So Mr. Ambrose, one of our original members, great to see him in action riding in this group. Now Keith Richards is in here. Richards, a winner of our prizes in the draw on Tuesday night, a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, nicely ensconced in this pack. So is this man, Andy Hawes, the one and only Andy Hawes is in group number 3. So number 3. It's group 3 for Andy Hawes. Horsey looking good at the moment, and remember, of course, riding on that Pinarello, and the man who is the route meister for the Tour of Britain on the front. Don't forget, Tour of Britain launching its routes today with details of the host towns and where the stages are going. Make sure you get onto their website and check out where the Tour of Britain is heading in September. We've got lots of riders going to be at the side of the road on that. It's going to be great to see the pros in action in real life. Now we're just going to take a little bit of a look at the back here. Let's see if we can just watch them through. I think there's 1 or 2 riders just struggling towards the back of this group. The next group's at about 24 seconds down. So just going to try and jump across to that group. This is group number 4. So if you're in this group, you're in group number 4. Let's get up above and let's see just how many people. So this is the 4th group on the road. So Nick Dorsey in here, Joe Munden in here. Looks like quite a number of members. Sean Ferrin is in this group. So Sean Ferrin in here. We've got Gary Licence in here as well. Another of the members just checking it out. Looks like Ian Taylor from 1080 in this group too. So in group number 4, should I say. He's in the group as well. Let's go for the correct English. So this is currently a group of 4 at the moment. Joe Munden's still hanging on in there on that mountain bike as well. Absolutely pigging here. Great to see young Mr. Crappers holding his own nicely in this group. Good to see he is in here. So again, finding his legs, starting to learn how to ride the Chaingang as he makes his way in and through. Now looks like Annie Hall is in the group as well. Now not being able to pick Annie out, but it's not surprising, so many riders moving so quickly at the moment. So don't forget, all this week coming to you as a part of Veloskin week. We were in the tough terrain of Yorkshire on the Yorkshire reverse course on Tuesday. Today, as we jump in with the front group with Russ, we are of course on the flat of the Tempus Fugit circuit. Don't forget, of course, give the guys a follow, as Russ says on screen, and make sure that you give the Donny Chaingang, Russ Downing himself, and Matt Fixer Payne on social media a shout. Now, as we come into the arch, I can see a big move going on here, and it looks to me like one rider's gone for this. The question is, who would be mad enough to do it? I'm not sure. It is not going to be a certain Mr. Priest, who went early on. Now Mazzoni's gone over the top, but these two riders quickly being pulled back by everybody else who had the pace and the pressure, and that is going to cost those riders dear who were in there as they came on through. Now Tacey in this group, and Tacey definitely one of our super fast riders, going to be somebody to keep an eye on as he is now up on to the front here. The aero wheels really are coming into this as he then drops back a little bit. It is going to be very interesting to see just who is able to take this out. We're just riding in with Russ at the moment. So Russ holding in with this group at the minute, and can just watch the action just up in front as we are coming around the corners here. We're coming round the turn. We're then going to be heading back off and out. We're going to jump in with Mason now. So John White from Bellevue, another of our regular riders in here now as they come around this turn It looks to me like Mason is in here looking strong. The question is, can he use that power to his advantage as they come around the corners and in to the finish? Remember, we're going to finish at the sprint line. And Mason sat in this group nicely at the moment. He's got to be a hot favourite when he come in. Russ moving up on to the pace now. The sprint is going to start kicking off at the front. The question is, who is going to be able to take it? Looks like Coleman is in here. Here comes the fat cyclist. So now Mason kicks for this. Mason's really gone hard here. He's absolutely putting down big numbers. 12 watts per kilo, and he's got a lot of kilos to go with it. But look at this. Driver's coming on his wheels. Driver's going to come around him, but it's going to be Coleman. Coleman making it underneath and over the line. So it is Coleman, followed by Mason Dryberg. Coming through there, the 1, 2, 3 as they come through, absolutely storming ride as they come in and through the finish. Brilliant to see the guys coming in. We're going to try and cover people as quick as we can, but what a 1, 2, 3. The riders who were sat with Russ as they came into that go, go, go with Russ at the finish, kicking away to take a victory. And what a ride by Coleman, by fat cyclist Gareth Mason going through. None of the riders really able to do enough damage to everybody else on the way through. We're just going to try and drop our way back far enough to get the next riders coming in. Wayne Barr, could see Wayne, and one of the riders who I'll be looking forward to seeing in action as he comes in to the mountain bike season. Just starting to make his way in through the line, just dropping back. We're going to see who we're going to pick up on the way out. Easier said than done at this stage as Hendricks goes through Stone on his way towards the line. And that looks like Goddard now pushing for the finish. Sam Emsley's right on his heels here. So just going to take a quick look back from Goddard. Emsley's coming. He's got the drafting gear, but I think Goddard's going to make this in through the finish here. So Goddard comes in and under the archway as we can just see Emsley comes in to the finish. Then it's going to be, I think, after Emsley, we're going to take a little bit of a check. I think it is going to potentially be Booth coming in behind him, though the sprint is on. And it's between Cooling and Herring here. So Cooling going so fast, Booth, Cooling going in and through. So we're just with Cooling. So it's Booth, Cooling. Looks like Darren Topless with another fast sprint finish in. Jimmy Allen just going in and through the finish. To wait, seeing that group. Katie Coldclough coming through to finish. A great ride by Katie. Again, looks like Louis from Veloskin just making his way in and through. We are trying to work our way back to before the gantry. Easier said than done as our next big sprint on the way in to the finish here. Andy Hawes going in and through. Leash pushing the pressure on as well. Really is fast stuff through here at the minute. We're just trying to make sure we can give you everybody as they come in through the finish. Easier said than done on this circuit, we know. So just up the road now. Dick Samuel is one of our club members on the DCG gang, so you're definitely going to get extra coverage, mate. And thank you for being part of the DCG gang. Just ahead, I think, of Evans behind. I think Brennan coming, then it's going to be a big pack behind. I think Ambler's going to be the rider leading them in as he goes in and through Cornish, Singleton, Ball, Hawkins. Looks like Fiona Kestevan just coming through the line there. Rob Wimble, Chase Woodbridge, of course, one of our regular members of the DCG gang. You can see just how fast this is. We're trying to get back before the line. These packs coming through thick and fast. Looks like Richards just distance, and of course Richards a winner on the previous draw on the DCG gang prize draw. Now we're going to drop back from Richards to Abbott. Abbott, our next rider, heading for the line. Then it's going to be Turner, and then going to be Morgan, Bishop, Colin Bell, Beefy for Cycways, Gibbons, and Co coming in and through. So going to watch Turner coming in and through. Then watching out for our next riders on their way back out towards the finish. So Turner has made his way through. We're just going to try and make sure we drop back for the right riders. There is one rider up the road, and we've just got to work the system around as they make the way in and through. easier said than done as these riders are coming in towards the line. So looks like plenty of these riders just coming through the finish here. So this is our next big pack. We'll just jump in with the pack. So we've got Cootie in here. So Cootie in action. Alistair will ride with on the way in. That's Alistair's turn for a bit of DCG coverage. And nice big pack on the way in to the finish. Gibbons in here. John Paul Wheater in this group as well. Scullen is in this pack. Everybody trying to push in for that finish as they come in to the line there. And you can just see a really fast day. Looks like Malcolm Thorne in that group as well. So the Bolsover rider running his way in and through. Fast man, and definitely won't want to be taking him on in a sprint. So we're just keeping an eye on these riders as they come in and through. Just working our way back before the line. So it looks like Robinson just in front, coming in through the finish. There's going to be Tristan from Harrogate. So Tristan comes in and through the finish, and good to see Tristan back in action. So going to drop back a little bit here. These riders just on the circuit around the island in the middle. We're going to have a run in for Darren. I think this is Darren Toplish just heading in to the finish here. Just going to take a little bit of a look around Darren, because I suspect he is on his way in. Good to always pays to know where the course is. So Darren on his way in to the finish here, absolutely flying his way out and around circuit. We're going to drop back from him, and I think we're going to go in to Hayward, who's just on his way out. So we're going to find our beacon. Where's our beacon? How many riders are in the bus today? Let's have a little bit of a look. Nice bus formed here. A real select group. Looks like it's got Mark Grant in there. It's got Johnny Lightfoot, who's taking up the duties. Looks like the Pines squad out in action. Tim Cooper up on the front. Looks like senior in here. So that is going to be, I think it's Gary Senior. Let's have a little look. Looks like George in here. George in the red jersey with the red gloves and the red bike. Denied the role of Red Beacon tonight, but still carrying out the role. We said he was an absolute superstar. He definitely is. Looks like Mark Tickle in this group as well, and they are all working well together here on their way back in towards the line. Looks like Martin Bolt only a little bit up the road from him. Looks like Tonkins just behind him. We're just going to keep an eye on this group as they come through. So just jumping in with this should, in theory, be very close to being our next group to finish. May well be one or two riders just up the road. We're just going to keep an eye on them. It looks like Kirkham and Inslee on the way in. So just jumping in time to see Sonia on the way to the gantry here. Sonia Inslee, a regular. And Veloskin products, big discount code. Remember, make sure you get them, Sonia. They are there for you. Remember, this is why people are in the DCG gang. That's not just for the fact that we regularly abuse them over the on the air. It's also about making sure you get the discounts, get those discount codes and giveaways as well as part of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. So we are just going to drop back now from these two who are just in on the way to the line. We're going to drop in with Tim Corby and see where Corby is. Corby in the sprint now. Now he's got company here. We'll throw the camera up with him. So it's Corby at the moment leading this out. So Corby has the front of this duo. Davis not able to respond to it. He put in the early kick there, not quite taking it home. And it was Davis then. It's going to be Miss Cookie and Sarah Grimshaw, one of our winners in the draw for the prizes. So great to see Sarah riding in action here. We're going to go back to, I think it's going to be our next duo of ride. We're going to have to just keep an eye on this as they go through. So I think Cookie having just finished, we're going to let the old app reset itself on the way through. So let's just jump in with Stuart at the moment, who is on the turn, and just going to keep an eye. I think we've got Wolf just on his way to the arch. Yep, it is indeed. So Tom Wolf, good to see Tom in action. The youngster riding some nice aero wheels on the run through Tempus Fugit here. So I'd love to say we're going to go to Russ in the next X number of minutes. It's not necessarily going to be the case here because it is pretty flat out here. Just trying to keep a track of where everybody is. But Tom Wolf out on the course at the moment. We're going to just jump in with Pattison, who is just coming out from that turn, just taking a little bit of a look up the road to see if anybody else is heading to the gantry in front, and I suspect definitely not going to be the case. So it is going to be this next duo on the way in to the line. They're on the run in here, so we've got Stuart heading for the line there, and we've got Pattison doing the same as well. Now let's see if we can jump in with Russ, and let's see if he's recovered a little, because that was very quick. Russ, how you doing?
Oh, I'm not bad. Tapping it. Down.
I bet that was incredibly rapid. I didn't see the average speed by the end because we were so frantically trying to keep up with everybody coming in towards the line, but it looked quick.
Yeah, I was just seeing stars, just no numbers or nothing, just stars. Or even that's when I had my eyes open. It was pretty epic, that last 10-12k really. I was doing a few messages and things, and every time I did that I nearly got spat, so it was like, right, I need to concentrate. But no, it was moving there at the end, really quick.
Yeah, definitely. Just watching Pattison come in, putting a final kick in over the line, being followed here by another of the Pines riders. It's good to see so many sure Pines riders in here, and both Coopers, George and Tim, doing the business. George in his red jersey, and it looks like that bus at the back is working really well.
Yeah, it's apologies there, on Johnny Two Dogs roping in again, but George is loving it. It's been on the screen now. I think that's just a small little error on the old email or something there, but it's all good. We get through in the end,
Definitely, and these guys absolutely love being the beacon. It is definitely one of those things people want to be. They want to be the beacon. They want to be on the up the road and enjoying the run into the finish in the group, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think George would have been in the front group tonight. He's not got enough power, the poor lad. But jokes aside, he's been great throughout this. He's one of the guys on the flat circuits. He knows that he's going to be hanging around the back, so he helps people out. At such a young age, he's got a great head on him, the young lad. There's Martin Bolt, crossing the line here. Like the jokes about earlier, I think he'd still be in the car park this time a year ago.
Yeah, definitely. I think he would have been, and he's rolling really strongly, and it's great to see the improvement. That's what we want to see on the Chaingang, isn't it?
I'm sure it was like 40 minutes, in when we were trying to coax him back on. He was there, he wasn't, and like I said, 40 minutes at that speed, he's going well.
Definitely, he's always improving. These riders coming in, I think it's going to be pretty much the bus to come. Once Tompkins comes in and through the line now. We've got a busy week next week with 3 rides next week, and of course this week's been busy with our giveaways from Veloskin, and great to see so many riders. We've got a real variety as well, so we've got young Zach making in there, we've got Fred Gill, a GB squad rider now these days, we've got Sarah Grimshaw and Chris Clipstone, so a real mix of Donny chain gangers.
Yeah, that was a great draw there tonight. And like I said, all the members. If you didn't win anything, check your email inbox. Send your address in for the samples, and fill your basket. And so it's great product, and not only for on the bike, it's afterwards. You've got to look after that body when you're putting it through its paces like we have done tonight.
So it's great. It is all about getting the rides in and, like you say, getting that recovery done. Now the riders are coming up to the arch this time, so they're going to go in and then they're going to do the turn around and then come back through the arch again. They've got a little way to go, so they're going to go through the arch, do a turn and then come back round. Interesting to see one or two riders' distances going up to that sort of 55. It is quite tight, isn't it, on the distance? But we always use a fixed point so that we've got the same point for everybody, and there's times on the way through in those sprint times. Really interesting to see who has been watching the Chaingang, who knows what they're up to, because the ones who don't know what they're doing end up sprinting for the wrong banner.
It's funny you should say that, as we cross through there now, we're going through it. We've just gone through it, are we going through it now?
About to go through, yeah.
About to go through it. I don't think there's a finish line on the ground, is there, going through this way? When we go through the next time, there is a finish line at the end of that actual lap. And that's, you don't sprint for nothing in the middle of nowhere. You actually sprint for a line on the road. So there's your top.
And that's what we're going to see. It's really interesting at the moment. Now, remember, this is the group coming in. This gang have been rolling round, and I think there is going to be a George Cooper given go from this group, and we're going to see them fight it out for the finish. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. I've been reading the messages as they've come up on the board. Grant at the moment on there. So they're going to go underneath the gantry, they're going to go round the turn, and they're going to come in and through, and this will be the finish as they come back in the opposite direction to the way they're going now. So they've not got far to go. They've only literally got to get around that turn that's showing on the map, that loop in front. So it's not too far. Let's see how they are going to do. We're going to see George now. I think Tim may have to call it because George basically can't put messages up on the screen. So apparently Tim is doing his typing because George is so young he can't even get the message board to come up on screen. That shows you just how good this young man is at holding the gang. And it is starting to split up here. Mark Grant, I mean, it's not all that long ago where Grant was at the back and was well behind the beacon and really having a hard time. Now he's driving it on from the beacon here with a group of 5 riders trying to keep it pushed on. This is really good to see.
Yeah, I think someone else called a little go in there.
In fact, yeah, there it goes. It's go has gone. They've just put it in. Oh, look at this. So this is going to be the mini go. And this is what we want to see. The guys are doing this on the fly. And as they ride in, and looks like George starting to kick on with Tim's in there. Then we've got Grant behind, chasing hard here, trying to stay with him. Senior's going to push over the top here. And then it's going to be Richardson, Johnny Two Dogs sitting with Mark Tickhill here. And Tickhill improving, and one of our newest members, I think he's our newest monthly member in the DCG gang, is Mark Tickhill. Our newest yearly member is in fact Rebecca Charlton.
Oh, that's great. I think Mark being on once or twice now. He's got the hang of it now, and he's obviously got the bug as well. So welcome to the gang, mate. And read that emails and use those discount codes. Make it all happen.
Definitely, it does help. That is for sure. So we're going to let you go warm down, Russ, as we bring these guys in. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again on the show on Tuesday.
Warm down. I'm going to climb off, mate. 65. Just warm up and everything. So a big day.
Definitely a big day. Cheers, mate.
Great job, mate.
So great to hear from Russ out on the course. We're just keeping an eye now. It looks like the Coopers have got company here on the runner to the finish. Let's get that drone cam up. It's sitting in with George. So we've got Tim and George both on the same bikes now. It's Tim in the black and green of Pines. It's George in the red of the Beacon jersey and kit. And at the moment, Tim is going to have to do the work here. George is just waiting to pounce. Has he got the power to go around the the outside of him. Senior's looking to spoil the party behind, but he can't answer the move here by George Cooper. Cooper comes through. He's just going to head off Tim, and a big final kick from Senior to go through. Then it's Grant who comes through then in fourth place out of that group. Richardson still got the gap here on Tickhill, but I'm not sure whether Tickhill is going to be able to hold them off for much longer. So let's see if that's going to be the case. We're out with them on the course at the moment. Let's see whether they can do the business. It's going to be tight on Tickhill in front. It looks to me Richardson's just about going to get this. Our beacon is in there, so it is Richardson who comes through. Then it's going to be Johnny to Dogs Our Beacon, and then Mark Tickhill. So thank you very much to Johnny Lightfoot for helping out with those beacon duties when it remained with him after the road on Tuesday. So that's a full week of red beacon duties for Johnny. So just leaves me to say, remember guys, follow Veloskin. It is at veloskin.cc. Make sure you give me a follow. That's Matt Fixer Pain, and I am on all the social media. Russ is on everything else. Russ Downing. Who else? And don't forget, of course, make sure you subscribe and join the DCG gang. Remember, it's not just about being on the bike and the rides that we bring you on the show. It's also about that support, that Facebook page with over 2,000 members on it. It's about bringing you the coverage. It's about giving you the insider information from all of the courses. Those emails that you get with the discount codes, as well as the free samples and the giveaways from great sponsors, people like Veloskin. And a massive thank you to Chris Louie and all of the gang at Veloskin. If you are a DCG gang member, please guys, make sure you go and get those free samples. If you're going to get some products, if you need to be sitting comfortably on the bike, or if you're an old gimmer like me for whom sprinting is a badly remembered pain, then remember, make sure you get those products in. They make a massive difference, and they're going to improve your performance and make things a little bit more comfortable. We're going to be back next week. We've got lots coming up. We've got 3 rides. We've got the Open Chaingangs on Tuesday and Thursday, and we've got Women's Wednesday. Make sure if you're a female already, get signed up. That ride is already open. We're going to be launching another one for 2 weeks after that, which is going to be a crit special, and that's going to be coming out in just under 3 weeks' time. And of course, don't forget that we are going to be bringing the links to our members first, to the members of the DCG gang. Everybody else, the ride opens on the Monday of the week of the ride, so make sure that you go in there to join the ride. Like all rides on Zwift, it's free, and we've got to say a big thank you to Zwift. So from me, Matt Payne, from Russ Downing, from all of the gang on the Donny Chaingang, thank you for watching, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.